Welcome to the International Wealth Builders Radio Show with your host today, Dr. Sharon Barnes. I am so excited to be here today with my special guest. And if this is the first time that you're stopping by, you know that my radio show is just dealing with real estate. So we have focused on accessory dwelling units, general real estate transactions, trying to help our community leverage what they already own and control, making home ownership a reality. And so today we're going to further that, and I'm just really excited because today I have with me Terrence McCarthy from the mortgage company, the TR, the loan guy. I have Lionel Thomas, the appraiser from Thomas Appraisal Company. And it is not every day that you get the benefit of having an appraiser, a loan broker, a realtor, an ADU specialist, all on the same platform, here to share information with you to make your real estate goals, investments a reality, and to help you change the wealth dynamic of your family. So our topic today, we're just going to be talking about general new trends in the real estate arena. We know interest rates are high. We know that the market, we have a low inventory of housing. We want to increase more sustainable housing, affordable housing. And so these gentlemen, along with myself, we understand that it takes a team to make it a reality. We not only want to better serve our clients, but we want to better serve our community. So we're here today to let you get a little insight into our expertise and how we work together to help you and to help our community so that we can really, reduce the homelessness and increase the housing inventory. So welcome, Lionel.
Yes,
welcome, Terrence. And so right now, I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience and just tell them generally about your company and your overall services.
All right, I'll start first.
Yes.
All right, Lionel Thomas, real estate appraiser, born and raised in Ontario, California. I've been an appraiser since 2003. I'm a second-generation appraiser. I actually got my real estate license in 2016, and I got what's called an appraisal management company license for California, Texas, and Tennessee in 2019 and 2020. I've been blessed to be married for a very long time, have 3 lovely daughters, and just a hard worker and ready to serve you and your family.
Thank you. All right, TR, the loan guy.
Can you follow that up? Yeah. All right. My name is TR McCarthy, a.k.a. TR, the loan guy, a.k.a. the mortgage GOAT, mortgage broker for Scepter Mortgage. How are you doing today? I've been in the industry now since 2004, going on 19 years now. I've been, like I said, a processor, an underwriting manager, now broker and loan officer. I've been on both sides of the equation. If it can be done, we can do it. Take 2. All right. If it can be done, we can do it. Just like Lionel, I am married, happily married, 2 children, 2 boys, and I'm just excited to help you guys get educated on getting finance for your dream home.
Thank you both. Well, I'm Dr. Sharon Barnes. I am a licensed realtor. I bring to the platform more than 25 years as a practicing attorney, where my heart still has been with my community to help you make informed decisions. And now that just translates over into real estate. Same principles apply. I am a consultant. I am a coach. I am your assistant to walk through with you through the process. I am also happily married. We were talking about this before. I am 38 years in with my husband. Yep. That we are, like I said, you grow together. We have a business together. He is the wind beneath my wings here to allow me to go out and do what I do and to come home and be applauded, cheered, and supported in the proper way. So I am so happy to be here. Now, today, again, we're talking about trends in real estate, things that affect our community. So we had some topics down. We're going to start off and talk a little bit about my passion, which is accessory dwelling units, because I do believe they're the new innovation that's helping us not only increase our housing inventory, but care for our families. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of people who are building houses for their parents or adult kids, and so families are coming together. And as they do this, they're having trouble getting financing, understanding all the moving parts, whether to put it under a trust, how much value it adds to the property, and so forth. And so I have worked with both of these gentlemen in those areas. We've had conversations. And so can you share like some of the issues that you're finding with people who want to build accessory dwelling units, especially multi-generational, and maybe give us a solution or some technique that you're using to help them achieve that? Tiara, can you tell us a little bit?
I will start off here. Okay. In accessory dwelling units, most people want to get that ADU, as they call them, put in their backyard and build from the ground up. However, the biggest obstacle to doing so is the financing for said ADU. And the programs in which to do it, there are quite a few options, but basically about three. You're either going to take a cash out that's going to basically be a refinance on your first mortgage, take cash out if you have equity there to then take that money and build the ADU. Okay, that's number one. Number two is there's a renovation style loan that is basically almost like a cash out refinance, but it's giving you money based on the value of the home after the ADU was built. Okay, so that's a very popular one there. And then the next is going to be a HELOC, or an equity line of credit, to where, if you have equity in the home, cash to a certain amount, usually to about 80% loan to value. So if you have anything between that, you can take that cash out and again use it to build your ADU. The issue is you have to make sure you qualify for it. Again, your debt to income ratio, so you want to keep your debts down as low as possible so that when you go in to refinance or to finance the property itself, that extra car that you just bought that's now $1,000 a month, you really didn't need that one, but now that is taking you over the threshold so you can qualify for that ADU. Or you have several cars at the same time, or just different things like that. Or you have multiple student loans that are on deferment. Yes, they're on deferment. You're not making any payments, but we still look at that. My suggestion to everybody is to take a look at your credit profile, see what it is that you can pay off that you don't need, or maybe sell something like that to make sure you keep that debt to income ratio down so that when it's time to make these purchases that's going to impact your financial life, you have the ability to do so.
Thank you so much for that. And
you're very welcome.
You mentioned several times about property, the valuation and the value, and we can't talk about that without thinking about the appraiser, yes, which is the one that works with the lender, that goes out to make sure that what are we getting qualified for, what we're purchasing is worth that collateral equals that obligation. And so Lionel, if you want to expound a little bit.
All right, so based on those three loan programs, the first one, which was just a cash out refinance, that means that the appraiser would come out and determine the current value of the home, right?
That's correct.
Based on that report, the lender would be able to know what the loan to debt ratio is for that particular project or that particular home buyer or home owner. The second scenario, where it's a renovation loan, then the appraiser is going to consider what the home is worth, in addition to if you are going to be adding a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom ADU, or a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom ADU, or whatever your city allows.
Yes.
Then he's going to pick comps based on what it's going to be, which is known as repaired or speculative, like a speculative value.
Right.
So out of those two, I would obviously suggest to do the renovation loan, because you're going to get a higher value based on those details. And then the third one was home equity line of credit, which they're not, some circumstances they don't even use appraisals now. They use like AVMs or another process.
That's true.
Yeah, so
Okay.
It might be a little cheaper, but I don't know if that is the accurate valuation that you're looking to get done.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that, gentlemen. So, and I want to come back to you, TR, because we had a conversation just a couple days ago, and I do have a client, and that's looking to build an ADU in her mother's backyard, and there's a lot of moving parts. But one thing that you mentioned to me was reverse mortgages for people over 75, and you really had a very succinct process and help me understand. So could you say how we can use reverse mortgages to get that ADU built?
Absolutely. So let me just look into the interwebs land out there and say, I know if I say reverse mortgage that you want to shoot me. You're saying, oh no, they're going to take my house. They're going to take it from my kids. They're going to, That's not true. Okay. So let me just explain what a reverse mortgage is first of all. A reverse mortgage is a government-backed loan, an FHA, a government-backed loan. So it's based off of FHA standards and guidelines, except for a couple of tweaks, which meaning you have to be at least 65 years of age or older to qualify for this mortgage. What it is it gives you a couple of different options when you are doing this. So let's just say, for sake of argument, what you owe on the home is low. So let's just say maybe you owe 10%, 20% on the loan, and you have a certain amount of equity still left in the home. When you refinance the home to pull out that equity, okay, and it's going to go to a certain level, anywhere between like 37% up to about 52% loan to value is what you can bring out of that property on a reverse mortgage. So let's say you bring out $200,000 and you use that for your ADU. If you're 65 or older, you can qualify for this particular loan, but the three distinct payment options, what you have options to, you can pay the principal and interest just like you normally do on your current mortgage. You can pay it off, you can pay that mortgage back down, pay it down, and it's done. You have the option to do that. But let's just say, for sake of argument, you're on a fixed income, and this month your car breaks down, and it's not $100, it's not $1,000, but your engine fell out the bottom of your car. It's $5,000 to fix it. What are you going to do? Well, currently with your mortgage, you can't miss a payment, or they're going to foreclose on your home in a couple of months. With a reverse mortgage, you can say this month or for 2 months, I am not going to make a payment on my mortgage. You're not late. You're not in forbearance. No one's going to come and kick you out of your home. You're good to go because that's the nature of this loan. It gives you flexibility. So let's say you got that $5,000. 2 months from now, you can pick back up and keep paying on your mortgage. And there's no love lost. You didn't lose anything, and there's no dings on your credit. That makes sense? Second option is, you again, on a fixed income, you do not want to pay the whole thing, but you're going to pay off just the interest of that, but you're going to keep the loan itself. Again, no one's going to kick you out your home until you pass away, going to be with glory, and that's how that works. But let's just say in some situations, like how another client of mine was, they were really on a tight budget, and they didn't really care. I don't have enough money to make the house payment and eat. As long as you're able to make the the hazard insurance and the property taxes, because you have to pay those. You pay those every year. You don't have to pay on the actual principal interest of the mortgage. So what happens? The interest goes on the back end of the loan. So again, if you don't make that for the next 20, 30, 40 years, no one's going to come kick you out of your home. It's still your home, and it's yours until you pass away. Those are the options that you have. It's a very good program. The question is, what happens when you pass away? Everyone thinks that.
Yeah, we can take a break.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, no.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
we do have to go to a break. We got through the 1, 2, 3s, and we'll come back and finish up with Terrence, and then we'll talk to Lionel a little bit more, okay? Join us. Stay with us. See you shortly. Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Radio Show with your host, Dr. Sharon Barnes. I am here with TR, the long guy, and Lionel Thomas, appraiser with the appraisal company, Thomas Appraisal Company. Mm-hmm. And before the break, TR was telling us how we can utilize a reverse mortgage without the threat of losing our home to build an accessory dwelling unit, which is becoming more and more possible and desirable for people who want to take, let's say, their parents' home or the family home and make it multi-generational. And so, Terrence, if you can just complete your thoughts about the reverse mortgage and what happens after someone passes away, and then we'll go from there.
All right, I'll keep it quick.
Okay.
The question everybody has is, what happens when I die? Are they going to come take my home? Are they going to basically kick me out if I don't make a payment, or da-da-da-da-da? If you have kids, your kids, after you pass on, have up to 12 months to refinance that property into their name or sell it. Or the third option, they can give it back to the bank, but no one wants to do that. They have 12 months. In the mortgage you have right now, if you pass away, you have 3 months to get that home refinanced into your kid's name, or they will foreclose on it. So you have more time with a reverse mortgage to do that. And that's the beautiful thing about a reverse mortgage, is because no one's coming to kick you out as long as you make your property taxes and insurance. And you have your home and you have your living expenses coming in. And when you pass away, whatever your will or trust says is what's going to happen, they have 12 months to either, again, sell it and pocket whatever equity's left in the property, or refinance it into their name if they want to keep it.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned like the living trust. I mean, everyone should have one, especially if you own property. It's just very important. And so when we're talking about the reverse mortgage, or even talking about building accessory dwelling units in the backyard of a family member's property, the trust becomes even more important, because that's the document whereby you can dictate what happens. Let's say I was talking to my client and I'm telling her that the agreement she has with her mother today, she can document it. She can be, document that she is fully responsible for the financial obligation of that ADU. She can have the property in the trust. She can pay her rent to the trust, and then everything's clear so that her siblings, if her mother's no longer with them, the siblings understand what the understanding and agreement was, and then everyone during good times can dictate what happens after mother's no longer here. And so it's a very important tool. As part of my consulting services, I do help you get in contact with professionals. I'm not practicing law anymore, but I do help you get in contact with professionals, whether it's legal, insurance, the lender, the appraiser, anyone you need to make that investment, that ADU, a reality, to help create some generational wealth and to just make the living situation a little bit better now without having it be detrimental in the future. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lionel, who can talk a little bit more about the ADU and the multi-generational, what he's seeing. And also when we're talking about ADUs, we're talking about new construction, new housing, and right now energy efficiency is very important, and it definitely comes out when we're upgrading our homes and building ADUs. So Lionel, if you can kind of jump in and add some valuable information.
All right, add value. Well, to kind of piggyback on the reverse mortgage first, I think adding ADU there, obviously you're going to increase the equity.
Yes.
And in the future, once the ADU is completed, you could, after post-death of family member, refinance easier because the house is worth more. There should be, I guess, a higher loan-to-value ratio, and the property would be generating double income rather than just a single-family income. So that seems to be good, but obviously there could be income restrictions based on the jurisdiction you're located in, so do your research there.
Exactly.
As far as energy efficiency goes, you're going to save money by replacing windows and putting insulation, assuming it's an old house like mine. And energy efficiency is very important. Obviously, solar panels are important. It helps you save on your electricity bill. And as far as valuing solar panels, you want to make sure that the solar panels are actually owned, because in the scenario where it's a lease or they're not actually owned by the property or not a fixture to the property, we wouldn't be able to give them value. So that's one thing you definitely want to consider.
Yeah, and it comes up so much. I just remember in regular real estate transactions that we have someone's trying to sell. They need to sell their home. We have a buyer, and we have the lenders have qualified that buyer. But when we find out that the solar panels are leased and they have to assume that lease, they can't qualify. I mean, they can't take on that extra debt. As TR talked about earlier, it's important to keep your debts low, and so doing the whole real estate transaction, you try not to take on additional debt at all. And so that includes when you go in and buy a property and you find out that certain systems in that beautiful home are leased and you have to assume that or pay it off. And a lot of times the sellers are trying to get the most they can to get on with their life. It really can be a deal-breaking situation. So, yes, adding the solar panels and being purchased is the best. And then also when we're talking about accessory dwelling units, we know that accessory dwelling units can be modular and manufactured homes as well. And there are different rules for them when it comes to energy efficiency and requiring solar panels. And so again, having an ADU specialist on your team will help you decide what's governing the budgetary factor, whether or not the solar panel is going to make or break the deal, and other impact fees if you build over 750 square foot ADU, all those type of things. So we know it's a lot of moving parts, because when we're in the accessory dwelling unit niche, they're requiring homeowners now to be builders and developers, and most of us have never done that before, okay? And so, we have this desire, and we're trying to figure out how to get to the other side of the project, and that's the gap that I stand in with these gentlemen and other people in the network and in the community.
Can I say something?
Yes.
One thing about ADUs that people may or may not realize is it's kind of like a retirement.
Yes.
Almost better than a retirement. Because if the jurisdiction allows you, you can rent that property out and receive a better return than a lot of investments.
Exactly.
And it's right on your site.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And people are investing out of state, and it's like, okay, but in California, we talk about how expensive the real estate is, but you actually can get a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for $200,000, not have to travel, not be out of state, and be able to utilize it for your family and be close to take care of loved ones. So it's not simple math, and it's not just taking on debt. There's a way to leverage and to create generational wealth and improve the stability of your family. TR, yes, TR.
The thing I want to say is this: our people perish for lack of knowledge. And
Amen.
the thing about it right now is this panel. I've worked with Dr. Barnes, and she's a educational sensation. I try to educate the people about these things. If you do not understand the programs, you don't understand finance, you don't understand appraisal, you don't understand what ADUs truly mean, you cannot access the potential of it. You cannot stick your hand in and take part and participate because you don't have the knowledge. And don't let the knowledge scare you. You have people who want to help you, who have the information that you need. Seek it out, get it, learn what your purchasing power is, and then find out how to take part and listen, and then just do.
Very well said.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so when we're talking about, like I said, the new topics that are coming up that's affecting our market, Lionel was very interested to add AI, which is a very hot topic now. I've added it to my business. I am helping my clients utilize it, but I'm very interested to see from the real estate appraiser side what you have to say about AI.
Well, I think it's a cool tool for sure. Yeah. From what I understand of how it operates, it's basically the knowledge of the internet, pulled into an easy search engine.
Right.
We've been really using the AI for a long time.
Yes.
We just didn't call it AI.
Exactly.
Because whenever you use a search engine, you're looking for answers.
Exactly.
You're seeking answers. And
exactly.
I get it that there's politics behind it. But one thing I've enjoyed about it is just it's a good problem solver. I'm trying to think how I use it recently. Just this morning, I have my oldest daughter. I'm trying to figure out summer plans for her.
Right.
So I wrote a little thing about her and asked the AI, what should I do for summer plans for my daughter? And it gave me 7 beautiful things that we could do. And I was like, wow. And I showed my wife, and she was like, wow. And so I feel like it's really beneficial to a family, but to stick it to real estate. Recently, I found a manufactured home for sale actually in Phelan, in the high desert.
Yes.
And it's a fixer. I think the asking price was like $250. And I kind of asked AI, like, what would be the return on investment if this was purchased? And I put the market rent in there, and it easily in seconds gave me a full mathematical breakdown. And it's great. It was profitable, and I thought I need to share this with someone.
Exactly.
But some things that even though with my years of experience I would never really write out and do, it just really articulates it very well and very quickly, and gives me helps me make a plan that I can share with people for that specific property situation.
And I found the very same thing in being able to just kind of dictate my thoughts and say, okay, how would I explain this better? How could I explain this better?
Yeah.
And although it's easier to edit than it is sometimes to get past that writing block.
Yeah.
And especially when we're talking about things.
Yes.
But there's tools that's associated with AI that will help the average person. And, I've always said that I really want to help people to leverage property they already own and control. Mm-hmm. That's, with the ADU strategies and so forth. But the aha is that really you have to treat it like a business in order to leverage anything.
Yeah.
We have to take out our personal, emotional hat, step back, and do the math, do the planning and so forth. And so, AI kind of helps that, and then you can go in and make your plans, know how long it's going to take you to pay off something, to get some of your basic questions answered that's fed to you in the manner that you need it,
Can I ask something? So there's an appraisal product called an AVM.
Okay.
Automated valuation model. And it's kind of like AI.
Well, I use it all the time.
Yeah, that's why I was proposing it to you.
Yes,
so we've been using AVMs on the front end and on the back end of the mortgage market. Trusted.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Who questions it?
But you know why? It's because that particular AVM, the AI you're talking about, is using the last 30 years of data from all of these different appraisals that you guys put in the system. Yeah. And so they put them together and say, okay, historically, let's just say for the last 10 years, this is what the trend has been. So they utilize that and said, this is what this is going to be worth. And so I use that in the beginning of a process. Yeah. And then sometimes I don't need to get an appraisal because we can take that. And sometimes we do need to get an appraisal. Yeah. And I love to see how accurate it is.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I love to see how accurate it is. And sometimes it comes back almost spot on. Yeah. Sometimes it's actually lower. And sometimes you guys come back more. Yeah. So, but for the most part, it's in the ballpark.
Well, can we say the AVM doesn't know that you just remodeled your kitchen?
It does not.
It doesn't know that you just put a pool in the backyard.
It does not.
It doesn't know you spent $30,000 on the roof.
Does
right?
Not.
So those are things that an appraiser can see, discuss, and disclose in a report. And I'm not saying AVMs are bad, but what I am saying is here. I guess what I was trying to get to is they've waived, let's say, thousands of appraisals across America based on AVMs. And the conversation about AI is kind of saying like, oh, we don't trust this thing.
Like it's new.
Like it's new, and like we don't trust it.
But
in reality,
we have
been using it.
Yes.
But the thing I will say is this. You guys are talking about AI and how you used it. I have used it just recently to help write a script for something I'm about to put on. Now, again, it was very descriptive. However, I had to make some corrections because it did make some errors. Yeah, exactly. It had some stuff in it that was not true. Yeah, exactly. But so you have to be careful and make sure you go back. And like you said, it's easy to edit it.
Yes.
Then to make sure it's correct. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, because the writing block is you articulated that perfectly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We need to take another break and to continue our conversation. So please stay with us. We'll come back, talk more real estate, more AI, more trending topics. Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Radio Show with your host, Dr. Sharon Barnes, here with Terrence McCarthy from Scepter Mortgage and Lionel Thomas from Thomas Appraisal Company. We've been having a very, I think, informative, spirited conversation about real estate, AI, reverse mortgages. I mean, because we really want to give you the information to help you make your real estate desires a reality, and to let you know that there are resources out here with our companies and with our network to actually help you deal with whatever situations you might need. Your living trust, your business entity, just evaluating your property and so forth. And so we wanted to continue that. We were talking a little bit during the break about the AI again, and people are using it sometimes for like just common everyday questions, but it really can help you get a general understanding of your return on investment. It can help you if you can't operate a financial calculator with your interest rates, your payment, how long does it take you to pay it off, that type of thing. You can kind of get information. The more information you get, it's not like it is the begin all end all, but it helps you have more informative conversations with the city, the county, with your lender, with people involved, so that you really walk away being able to proceed further down your project than just getting general information. Because we consume a lot, and in working with people who want to build accessory dwelling units, especially how much will it cost me? Well, I can't tell you how much it's going to cost you if I don't know what you want to build. Okay, and we don't even know what you can build till we see your actual property. And then we still have to double check with the city. And it's just really interesting that it is such an evolving, I find it very exciting because it's still a very evolving industry and a very evolving niche. And I don't think right now that realtors really understand the important and vital role that that people are looking to them to fulfill. And I'll just say that one thing that I try to tell people now is that we can't, eyeball things and see whether it's legal, whether it's an ADU, whether it needs. So I have a situation now where I walked in and the contractor came in and he added a bathroom to the property. He remodeled one of the restrooms so that the elderly owner could access it, the step-in tub and all this. Did the floors, did solar panels, did air conditioning, did everything. Submitted 14 applications with the city. But when we got ready to sell the property, we found out he actually pulled no permits. Okay. The work looks great, but there are no permits. Okay. We have to watch out for our clients, and we have to verify that things that need to be done are being done. And the other thing is that when it comes to the realtors, it's a lot of the multiple listing services now are adding accessory dwelling unit questions to the platform. And I went through the other day, just for my curiosity, to look at the questions, and they have a little button that you push if you need help. In the entire section, there was no rule to help me answer a question. What is it? Isn't it ADU? Well, I have to understand what it is. Yeah. And the answer is yes or no, but I don't know the definition, and they didn't give me anything. It's just a lot, so it's very new, and we're here to let you know that we're here to help. And the ADUs are part of is becoming an ever more part of the real estate transaction and buying and selling a house. And we really have to listen to what our buyers are asking for, because if they're asking to purchase a property so they can build an ADU or they can provide housing for adult kids or parents, you need to have red flags going up and reach out to people who have been in that niche and understand ADUs and get some of those question answers before you close that escrow, because there can be some detriment to you. So I'm going to be here focusing on that a lot more with realtors to help us serve our community more. But gentlemen, want to reach back out to you. Terrence, I believe that you want to talk to us a little bit about the down payment assistance, because with the interest rates where they are and our income and everything seem to be going up except sometime our income. We want to talk a little bit about the down payment assistance that's available now.
All right. Down payment assistance is one of the biggest programs that people are asking me about. And so there are multiple down payment assistance programs, from county down payment assistance programs, sometimes they're state programs. However, the issue with most of those, especially cities and counties, is the funds availability. Most of the times when you go to a county and they say, hey, you guys have a down payment assistance program, they're usually out by February because they don't have so much money. The two here in California, I'm a California broker, that I use, the number one is Cal HFA or Cal HAFA. And the reason why I use that, because it's extremely simple to use. They give you conventional, which is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac down payment assistance, FHA down payment assistance, and even VA down payment assistance. These aren't grants. These are basically silent seconds, and they give you a second for the down payment assistance. You can also get a third to help you with closing costs. However, because of the rates right now, a little bit higher than normal, a lot of the closing cost assistance has been taken away for the FHA program. Okay, so just want to let you guys know that hasn't been around for a while, but once the rates come back down, they'll probably go back into effect. And the thing I want to talk to you about before I get to the Chenoa is that you have to understand what down payment assistance really is. Is assistance. It's not going to have you not come out of pocket anything. It's going to pay for your down payment, but you still have to pay for your closing costs. So let's just talk about that for a quick second. If you have a conventional down payment assistance program, they're going to give you 3% for that down payment. That's what the conventional down payment assistance is. You get the 3%, you pay the closing costs. If you have an FHA loan, down payment assistance, you get 3.5% for the down payment. That covers your down payment, but you still have to pay the closing costs. So what does the closing costs entail? It'd be origination fee, appraisal fee, title and escrow, insurance, recording fees, and yada, yada, yada. Keeps going on, right? But those are the things you have to come out of pocket for. And the second program that I use is what they call Chenoa. Chenoa has down payment assistance, but they also have a grant portion. What's a grant? The grant portion is eventually that it is forgiven. You don't have to pay that money back. Why would you do that? It's a great program. However, when you get that program, the interest rates on that are just a little bit more than the regular down payment assistance. Since they're giving you this money, you're going to kind of pay it back in the interest. Answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. We do definitely need that. And so when we're talking about like the down payment assistance and the grants, when it comes to ADUs, we did have the $40,000 grant. I mean, there was so much interest. The money didn't last for long. They did not ask people to qualify for the entire amount of the ADU or projected ADU before, they gave them the $40,000. And so there have been some people who haven't been able to actually take advantage of that grant that they've been awarded because they can't qualify for the remainder of the ADU. There are some new programs up in Northern California that certain cities are giving grants and doing different things. They're testing them out to see how this can help increase our housing market, the mid-range housing inventory. And so, again, you can plug into me on ADU Advantage, my YouTube channel, or SharonBarnesRealEstate.com, and everything to stay abreast, because when it hits our Southern California area, I plan to be the first to come and let you know. So, but you have to be ready. So if you're interested in an ADU, you own a property now, it's time to get ready. And if you need to move or to sell your property, do have a program whereby you can get up to $20,000 to improve your property to put it on market. And that's without any credit checks, with no FICO score, no income requirements or whatever. You can go to Get Your 20K Today. That's Get Your 20K Today.com, and reach out to me, and I'll be able to tell you more about that program. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lionel, because under that program, what I've done with a lot of clients is to ask them to get a pre-sale inspection, and how that will help them to identify, areas that we can improve the property. And so I also want you to talk about how we can, when people want to sell right now, it's usually some either hardship, job relocation, and they need to get the maximum they can for their property. So if you can kind of give us some guidelines on things that affect our appraisal.
All right. You mean a pre-sale appraisal?
Pre-sale appraisal and things you can do to kind of boost our price.
Yeah, a lot of times executors of trust will reach out to me because, they have the responsibility to sell this thing for the correct price. They're getting cash offers and all kinds of stuff all over the place. So they're seeking, I guess, I don't want to say seeking wisdom like I'm some wizard, but they're seeking
Knowledge.
experience.
You're very wise.
Yeah.
At what you do.
Wise,
Very wise at what you
expertise.
do.
Yeah, well, I want to be humble. But yeah, so I'll go out and do an appraisal inspection. And during the appraisal inspection, obviously, I'll walk around the exterior of the home. I'll document and explain to them any safety hazards that are there, like maybe if there's a trip hazard in the slab, or maybe the condenser is not working. Like if it's tenant occupied, I'll ask the tenant, like, hey, is the heater working? It's kind of like a third party is there, and I'm just really there to document the condition of the property. So the questions I'm asking don't come off awkward. They know it's my job, and it is what it is. But simple things like, does the property have a smoke detector? Does it have a carbon monoxide detector? Is there safety straps on the hot water heater? Some of these really simple things. S.
Yeah.
Straps. Because those are state requirements, and your home wouldn't qualify for financing without those things. But in every market I'm seeing right now, like you said earlier, there's an extremely low supply of homes for sale, which is leading to high values. In addition to the appraisal inspection, I do what's called a LiDAR floor plan for them.
Right.
Or I use my iPad and use a
Okay.
laser measure, and I give them a laser accurate depiction of the floor plan, which people really like now.
Okay.
Usually,
great.
yeah, is that a good answer?
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
I just want to add that the value in getting the pre appraisal inspection before sale has really impacted and benefited my clients. In one instance, we were able to get that report and look at it and utilize the $20,000 to improve the property.
Oh, make repairs?
Make
that's what this is for?
repairs and different things, and actually resulted in selling the property for $100,000 more than I originally listed it for.
Nice. Yep.
Now, on the other end of it, we got a pre-sale inspection, found out we had foundational problems. The house was unlevel. It hadn't been updated in years and everything. And so the sellers decided that they didn't want, it was going to be way more than $20,000. They didn't want to put the money into it. And so, we came to a consensus that that was an investment property, and we sold it to an investor. So to get in touch with reality, I think that pre-inspection or pre-appraisal report really helps. And then, as I tell my clients too, when you know whether or not you want to make all the repairs or what you want to do to your property, no one can surprise you, because the buyer is going to come in and do a home inspection, and there should be nothing that come up in the home inspection that you don't already know about. So just know what we're dealing with, what the skeleton actually looks like, and it can be beneficial. And so it's a great opportunity. But to have an appraisal, but like granted versus courts now, big money difference.
To me, they're both updated. Like if they're updated within last year, that's what I'm focused on. That
Okay.
they've been updated, not the specific material that was used.
Okay.
So,
Popcorn ceilings, no popcorn ceilings.
that is going to be a buyer concern, I think, more than an appraisal concern.
Okay.
It could be a safety concern, assuming that it's not encased up there in the paint.
Okay.
But for me, on my appraisals, I'm not. There's going to be no value difference from popcorn to no popcorn.
Okay, flooring, the laminate versus hardwood, all that. We just talking cosmetic.
I would document if it was done within the last year or last 5 years or last 15 years, but the material you choose is the material you choose.
Okay, and
That's
what?
good to know.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, we're only able to upgrade property or know what the condition of the property is once it goes on the market. That's, like Compton is a pre-sale city where, you have to go in and they have to look, because this is the only time they get jurisdiction to go in and
Access.
say those floor furnaces are not to be used, that there's a safety hazard with the water heater and all this. And so, when you're looking at that, are you finding any advice that you can give to people, when they want to upgrade the property, so we don't run into lender requirements at the end when we're trying to get qualified?
Yeah, trying to close the deal. Surprise, no carbon
FHA or VA loan.
Yeah. Well, so in my appraisal, I'll discuss with them the most common financing for that market. So in the appraisal, to say, there's been 30 FHA finance sales, 10 conventional finance sales, 3 cash sales. So that the seller or the owner or the executor knows the most common financing there.
That's
and
great.
To be honest, I don't, people may read that or may not read it. I don't know. But my appraisals are filled with a ton of details, more than anyone All they look at is a number. Okay, it's worth, $10 million. Okay, we're good. Close that thing. Let's talk to this other guy.
Yeah, until we get down in escrow and it
Yes.
becomes an issue.
Yes.
This has been a great session, and I really appreciate you guys. We need to take another break and then come back and wrap up. But stay with us, and so you can know how to reach out to us for further information to help you on your specific property. Welcome back to the International Wealth Builders Radio Show with your host, Dr. Sharon Barnes. I hope you have found this session to be very informative, and we are here again to serve our community. So we're going to let you know how to reach out to us to get more information and to get help with your specific projects. Mr. Lionel.
All right. If you go on YouTube and search Lionel Thomas Real Estate, you'll see at least 100 of my videos. My website is newmanthomas.com. My cell phone number direct is 909-510-3353. Thank you.
All right, TR McCarthy. You can find me at trmccarthy.com or sceptermortgage.com, on YouTube, TR the Loan Guy, also Instagram. You can also reach me at 951-399-2002 is my office number.
Thank you, gentlemen. I am Dr. Sharon Barnes. You can reach me at sharonbarnesrealestate.com. ADU Advantage on YouTube, where I talk everything ADUs, and I'm here to serve you. I do have a consulting company as well as being a licensed realtor. So stay tuned, and I hope you connect with me online. See you next time. Bye.